Gaza! Free, free Palestine! Free from Gaza! Hands off 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 Gaza! Afghanistan to Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Yes. Oh, they're talking.
أيها الأخوة، ستبدأ المظاهرة هنا وتنتهي هنا، وسيكون لدينا عدد من المتحدثين باسم كافة المنظمات المشاركة في هذا المهرجان في هذه
Opposition in the parliament, they shut down democracy and run to the Governor General begging to extend their rule. They are the cowards. Down with Harbour! Down with Harbour! Down with Harbour!
Down with Harbour!
But it doesn't end with Stephen Harbour. We have a Prof. Iggy. Do you know Professor Iggy?
Okay.
The Professor Iggy who supported the war. Action across Canada saying not in our name, not in our name as a Canadian. Jews, Muslim, Christian, people of faith and no faith, not in our name.
I come from the Jewish Holocaust. I was walked down by Hitler for death. The Nazis killed my family long ago, and now their deaths are being used to justify the killing of the Palestinians. What an indignity! What a dishonor! What a humiliation! The very idea is a crime against humanity.
Crime no good.
The Gaza ghetto that imprisons the Palestinians is all too similar to the Warsaw ghetto built by Hitler. The Israeli government uses many of the methods of Nazism against the Palestinians. The ultimate aim is to wipe them out as a people, and that is genocide. For if we have learned one thing from Hitler's crimes against the Jews, it is that ethnic cleansing, ethnic slaughter, and genocide must be opposed today. Those who say, never again for the Jews, and those who say, never again for human beings. Shame on Harper.
Shame on Harper. Shame on Harper.
Who in the name of the Canadian people support the Israeli genocide.
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united
will never be defeated.
Yes, from the labor movement, from all faith groups and other denomination and organization with us. And it's my honor and pleasure to introduce to you a great fighter, a noble man, a brave man, Sid Ryan, President of Canadian Union. But the shameless benign breath, Canadian Jewish Congress and Zionist organization are ashamed to Canada
that there's men, women and children being slaughtered in the Gaza Strip here today. There are war crimes being committed, and that's not just Sid Ryan saying that. The United Nations has come out and actually condemned Israel for the atrocities that are taking place. 300 200 Canadian academics just yesterday sent a letter to Stephen Harper and said it is time to place sanctions on the state of Israel. Naomi Klein, a great activist renowned around the world, said it is time to get into a boycott of Israel. Boycott their goods and services. So my friends, people are beginning to speak out around the world. But the greatest tragedy of all, because we hear from the media a one-sided reporting of what's going on, and I've yet to see one single editorial anywhere in any newspaper across Canada that condemns Israel, for shutting down the freedom of the press. Not one outlet has reported in a newspaper that the first casualties, we all know, of any conflict, of any war, the first conflict is the truth. And unless you've got an independent media inside of the Gaza been able to report out to the rest of the world. But instead, my friends, they're only too glad to report out all of the anti-Semitism comments being made by the Jewish Defence League. All of the Nazi-hating spewing that they spew out is reported every day in the newspaper. But they will not report that the free press has been shut out of the Gaza Strip. Shame on the media for saying that, or for doing that. Listen, my friends, I'll say this much to you, and I'll say this as an Irish person, somebody who lived through the troubles in Northern Ireland. And I know after 800 years of occupation, I can tell you there's only one way that the Brits got out of Ireland. It was when the Republican movement decided that they were going to become political. And I tell you, my friends, we have got to see Palestinians and Muslims in the parliaments of Canada. That's the only way you're going to find people speaking out about your issues. Park and put your people into the House of Parliament. Stay strong, my friends.
We'll never be defeated. The people united will never